Happy 6 months! Happy 6 months! Happy, 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 happy 6 months! Can you believe it? I can't. It's going by way too quickly. It's only been 6 months. Oh my goodness. So stay little while you can before you become big girl, because you're already such a big girl. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, I was excited to hit 6 months, but now that we're here, it's like, well, next month she'll be 7 months. Huh. Ah, I love you. So Hazel's here. We didn't have the best first nap, but she seems to be in a decent mood. So we're going to film this because tomorrow's Wednesday, which is when this video needs to come and make an appearance. Huh, buddy? So we have Hazel here. We have our taco. We have our lemon and lime, and we have our little ring things. So we have some toys to occupy you. Happy 6 months, little girl. I cannot believe we are here. We have already had our 6-month checkup. She did turn 6 months on the 14th of this month, and she had her checkup 2 days later. So she weighs 11 pounds, 11 ounces, and she is 25 3/4 inches long. So just shy of 26 inches, which means she's pretty much grown 1 inch a month since she was born, which is crazy. You're a long little thing. You're probably like, oh my gosh, she's so little. Yes, she is, but she is very, very strong. She loves to stand, which I'll show you probably a little bit here. She just loves to stand. She can sit up, she can be on her tummy and push up, she can roll over both ways. Yeah, you're pretty strong, huh? She's reaching all of her milestones. She's in 6-month clothes, so this is a 3 to 6 month shirt and 6-month pants from Carter's, and she's doing good. She's just, like I said, she's so long. So, yeah, you like to stand, huh? Say, I got strong legs. I got strong legs, sweetie pie. It started solid foods now, and we're doing a little bit of combo feeding, which means she eats purees, but she's also doing baby-led weaning, which means that she eats what we eat. But I'm doing my own version at first, just so I know she doesn't have a lot of food allergies. But she's had sweet potatoes pureed so far, and she's also had sweet potatoes like cut up into strips. So I do have video of both of that I'll insert maybe a little bit here, but I'll show you later as well. What you thinking?
Hey,
and there it goes. That's great. Are you eating all by yourself like a big girl? All by yourself like a big girl. Tonight is probably going to have carrots, I believe. The doctor said start with like the yellow purees and stuff, so, or the yellow foods. So we started with sweet potatoes, and next up is carrots. So that's exciting. I am going to make my own baby purees for the times that we do use those. What we had left of the sweet potatoes last night, I just made my own little purees out of. So those are in the freezer, ready to go for when we need them next time. Hazel loves her kitty cat. She really just loves to stare at the kitty. She gets a big old smile, and then she tries to pet the kitty. It's more like, so I have to be like, no, like gentle. So Indy's just kind of like, I don't know about you, but he is doing pretty well with it all. So yeah, you love your kitty cat. Yes, you do. Hazel's doing really good. The doctor is super happy with her, and like I said, we got the green light for solid food, so that's exciting. So we are on to new adventures with that. Yes, you are, huh? Say we're wearing size 2 diapers now. Say I'm in size 2 diapers. Fits my bum the best. Yeah. Fits my bum. we're going to probably go more of the Montessori route when it comes to, I guess, play and teaching. I really don't know, like, what, I know what it is, like, I get the point of it, but I don't know, like, I guess there's, like, school styles that's Montessori, but right now we're just working on Montessori at home. I'm doing a lot of research. I haven't really officially started anything yet. I've looked up a couple toys I'm gonna probably get here in a little bit, but basically from what I can gather, Montessori is just like meeting them where they're at developmentally, which is, I feel how like normal, I don't want to even say normal people, but like those who aren't doing or don't have access to Montessori, I feel like that's what you do anyway, but I guess Montessori, like, it breaks it down a little bit more in depth and like lets you know, like, okay, like, so this, for this age, these toys are the best to help them learn the best type of thing. So we're going to be doing a lot of Montessori at home, styling. So far, I feel like it is going to be a good path for her. If I find anything else out that I don't like, then maybe we'll tweak it a little bit, but right now, we're definitely going to do that. I'm going to probably rearrange the nursery in the next probably 3 months once I have access to a few other things to just make it more of the Montessori style. I'll have the toys laid out in a different way. I'll be rotating her toys so she doesn't get used to like all her toys and bored with them, which I planned on doing anyway before I found out Montessori does that, but I think that's a great thing to do. And I need to rearrange her books a little bit better. And, yeah, so, she definitely has favorite toys, but she, will take, like, if I put something new in front of her right now, she would drop what she had and go towards that. She has this giraffe that squeaks, that she loves. She probably loves that the most so far, although she is really liking this taco set, which we got for a baby shower gift, which she takes after me because I love me some tacos. Oh, buddy. I don't even know if you can see her. We work on sitting up and tummy time every day, and she's doing so well with it, but she wants to do more than just sit. Like, she can't realize, like, why she can't just, like stand, I think, because she just loves to be propped up. So, like, whenever she sits down, then she's like, hey, I want up again, and it's like, it's so hard because you're trying to like teach her just to get her back strength, but then she wants to skip that and go straight to standing. She only cries if she's like overly tired. So that's another thing. Let me discuss on the sleeping, because I put out an Instagram post when I was in West Virginia. I was just, I guess, at my breaking point. I didn't really know what to do. I had told myself before we went to West Virginia, so this is like the beginning to like the mid-December last year, I said, okay, we're going to start transitioning her to her crib, because one, look at her, she is really long, and she wasn't going to outgrow the bassinet, but she also, it was time for her to move to her own room, which is sad, but it has helped tremendously. So let me get there. So I said, okay, we're just shy of 5 months, we need to do this. So I had put her in her crib for a couple naps. They were, I don't know, 30-minute naps at the most, and then she'd be up, and it was just, she was so tired. So she was just so upset that she was not napping the right way, which, because she wasn't napping very well, her sleep at nighttime was affected. I was like, we gotta try this, we gotta keep at it, we can't just give up. So I said, we're gonna just try to sleep, or have her sleep in her crib all night. And we did do that, but then we have a day bed, which you can see and probably have seen already back there. So I said, I'll sleep in the room with her to make myself feel comfortable, because I just didn't know how I was going to do with it all versus her as well. So we said, all right, I'll just stay in the nursery with her, no big deal. We have the space, the means to do it, so we did. And she was still up every, like, okay, she would maybe go to bed at 9 or 10, and she would sleep till 11:30 or midnight and be awake. Then she might sleep till 1:30 or 2 and be awake. Then she'd sleep till 4:45. Then she'd that's when, like, in the morning, she would have, like, her longest stretch of sleep. So from, like, 5:30 to 6 to, like, 8 or 8:30. Like, I feel like that was the longest and the best, like, stretch of sleep that she had. So I was miserable and so tired. I didn't know what to do. I just so upset. So I was going to keep her in the nursery, but go to my room and sleep. Well, then we had a lot of issues with our monitor that we've had previously, so I didn't trust it. I didn't want to worry about it. We got the new monitor, but by the time we got the new monitor, we were leaving in 2 days to go to West Virginia. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to stay in the room 2 more days. Just, it is what it is. But she would be up all the time, and she wouldn't even be hungry. She just knew that I would be right there. So I feel that she was just like, well, I'll just wake up because Mom's here. Like, she couldn't put herself back to sleep without me. During the naps, during the day, during that time, I just said during like 3 times. Anyway, while we were working on naps, I said we have to do some sleep training. We have to try it. Now, I am not an expert at this. I'm not trying to shove my way of doing it down anybody's throat. Every baby is different. Every mom is different. It's totally fine. But I chose to do gentle sleep training. I don't believe in crying it out. I can't do it, and I don't think it's right. My opinion. It's okay if others don't feel that way. Totally, it's okay. You're doing great as a mom, and I'm doing great as a mom, and we can all have our own opinions on that. But I didn't believe in just straight up crying it out. Plus, it didn't really work. Not that I tried it, but like, I could feel that it just wouldn't work for Hazel anyway. So what we did do is, for naps is when we started, for naps is when we started doing it. We did, like I said, the gentle sleep training. So it was nap time. Well, at this point, it was just for me what I thought should be nap time. I put her down, I turned her sound machine on, and then I said, okay, night night. And I walked out of the nursery, and she was just so sad. It was really sad. So she just cried and cried, and she just wasn't understanding what was happening. So 5 minutes. I went back in, and at this point I was still picking her up. And I picked her up, and I tried to rock her and sway and do everything for maybe for like 30 seconds. And then I'd set her down, and I walked back out. Well, let's just be real. I stayed right here where I'm filming this. I stood right here because I couldn't leave. I was like out of her sight because her crib's around the corner, but I just stood right here, and I just sat on the floor, and I just listened to her cry, and I was just like this. I just was like, oh my gosh. So I waited 7 minutes. I think. I really don't even know. I probably just waited like 2 minutes. Was like, I'm back, but I think I waited 7 minutes. Came back, did the same thing, and we just worked on that. Hi. Eventually, she did fall asleep. Now, she probably only slept 30 minutes, I'm sure, but the point is for her to learn to put herself to sleep without me. Yeah. That was what we needed you to do. Just fall asleep. Yeah. Hi. Hi. So, that's what we did, and I did that for every nap. I even did it at bedtime. Bedtime, I feel I did it a little bit longer, but at the same time, while I did that, if I knew that she really wasn't like tired crying, and she was real, I'm very upset crying, I just said, forget it, screw it. I walked right in the room, and I picked her up, and we either didn't take a nap at that point or didn't go to bed at that point, or I just sat there and I nursed her because I know that would help put her to sleep. And I said, she's not going to cry. We're not going to do this. She's upset. She's not tired. You know what I mean? I feel there's just a difference between those two cries. So I just couldn't handle it. So I said, all right. Now that wasn't for that wasn't every nap or every time she went to bed that I had to nurse her, but a lot of the times I did at the beginning. Fast forward to when we're in West Virginia, and I said, you know, we're still gonna do this. We're going to still work on sleep training. I'm not gonna abandon everything just because I'm on vacation. And we were in West Virginia for 2 weeks, so it was quite some time. And she was out of her zone, out of her space. I mean, we brought the DockATot and we put it in the cradle that we used, and that's how she slept the whole time. And she had some naps where she did so great, and she slept like 2 hours, just so long. Christmas Eve, or Christmas Day, you did so great, huh, buddy? You slept from, let's see, like 8:30 to almost 10:30. Like, you had a great morning nap. But other days, it was just like, well, she's up. We kept at it. And that's when I was in West Virginia, and I was just so like, oh my gosh, I need help. So I just reached out on Instagram, and I was just begging people. Anybody who read my story with kids, they were free to answer. I said, I need so much advice right now. Like, what can I do? So that's when I learned. My friend Caitlin, she sent, because I put it out on Twitter too, my friend Caitlin texted me this article about what to do if your baby's taking short naps. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so helpful. Like, yeah. I said, oh my goodness, this is so helpful. And I was just like, yes. So I read it, and I started putting those practices, I don't know what to say. I started putting that article into practice, and we had some success. That was the point where I was still using the swaddle, and I know that you aren't supposed to swaddle after so long, but she wasn't rolling over. She still only rolls over when she feels it. It's not like every time I put her down. Anyway, that's not the point. At that point, I had the swaddle with me, and there was a couple times I just had to swaddle her because she was so upset and she was not going to sleep. And for my sanity and her sanity, we just swaddled her, and she just, as soon as you swaddle her, boom, she'd be out. She would sleep for like 3 hours at a time. Yeah, but I knew I wanted to transition out of that, but I also knew that I wanted her to stay warm as well. So we got a Halo sleep sack, and we put her in the sleep sack instead of the actual Halo swaddle. That was an adjustment. She was kind of like, this is not normal, what is going on? She associated that every single time we took a nap or bedtime. She wears that sleep sack, whether it's the Halo one or a Carter's sleep sack. That's a little bit different, it has sleeves. But every time we went to bed, starting in West Virginia, every time we slept, we had that sleep sack on. So right now, she's associating sleep with the sleep sack. That's key. We did a lot more sleep training, like hardcore, a lot more. But this time, I was reading, you gotta look for their sleepy signs. So every time Hazel does this, which I already knew when she rubbed her eyes, she was getting tired. Like, I knew that. But like, really honing in and just watching and being like, okay, she's done one sleepy eye. Okay, now she's doing it like 3 or 4 times. Now she's yawning. So it's starting to be sleepy time. So I also know if she's getting really, really fussy, we probably missed a sleepy sign or 2, and we are past that window. So it takes her a little bit longer to fall asleep because she's overly tired. She wouldn't nap right, or she didn't get the best of naps. So once she started to get the hang, or I guess once I started to get the hang of that, I would watch that, and we would get in our sleep sack and go to night-nights. Yeah. Still using the sound machine every time. One night, though, she was just, she just cried and cried and cried, poor baby. And it wasn't even like I was just letting her cry it out. Like, no, like I was holding her, and she was just so sad. And my goal was to not nurse her to sleep every single time. I fed her, but right before bed, but then she still was awake. So I would try to avoid nursing her, because then she'd wake up in the middle of the night and expect me to nurse her back to sleep. That was what I was trying to break her of, because she wasn't hungry, she just needed me to nurse. Well, then all of a sudden, you're probably wondering, well, aren't you using a pacifier? Well, we were. We were using a passy from about a month old to 4.5 months, almost 5 months. And all of a sudden, she just said, I don't want it anymore. I don't want this. She just got so mad. And she was probably just so mad that she was just didn't know what she was doing. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna offer it. And right now, it's been almost 2 months and we don't use the pacifier anymore. Now, I'm not saying that if she still wanted it, I would have taken it away. No, we'd probably still use it if she wanted it, but she just decided she didn't really want it anymore. The only one that she has is connected in her car seat because it has a nice pacifier clip, which will be used for teething whenever she starts to teeth. Like, I felt not self-conscious, but like, you're not in your own home. Hazel's not in her own space. I was thrilled to be back home for a little bit, but it was just like, everybody's there, you know, nobody minds that she cries, but you're just like, you're trying to, you know, soothe your baby, help your baby, you know, feel okay, and it was just rough. She would just have bad sleep habits, but we started to implement a lot of taking care of babies practice, which I don't have the money right now to buy the actual program. I want to, and I told my husband that once we start saving up, I think I'm going to. And what taking care of babies does, it helps you learn how to sleep better, like meeting them where they are developmentally, because they have leaps that they oh, you're okay. They have leaps that they go through, and Hazel was coming out of the 5th leap, and it was just messing with her. So here in probably a month and a half, she's going to go through another leap where she's learning more things, and it just affects how they sleep. We are probably going to invest in that, but I was able to learn enough through the blogs that she has and through a couple of YouTube videos, like, to help me, like, where I'm at right now. So fast forward to we're home. We're back in Indiana. Hazel's in her space. Mommy's in her space. Everybody's in their space. And I said, we are doing this. We're working hard, and she's going to learn to sleep right. So, the first night we got back, I put her DockATot in her crib, because that's what she's used to. And, yeah, we put the DockATot, which she's slept with since she was born, pretty much. She went to bed. I said goodnight. She probably cried. We did a little sleep training. She went to bed, and she woke up twice that night, and then she was up for the day at 7:30 or 8. And I said, whoa, what the heck? This was weird. I just kept doing that, and now we've been home for 3 weeks since we got back from West Virginia, and she sleeps, yeah, you want to tell them? Yeah, she sleeps 12 to 13 hours a night. I don't know what I did. It wasn't anything magical, but just consistent sleep training, no crying out, no crying it out. If she fails at a nap or fails at bedtime, I go in, I console her. I hate to say the word fail, but if she's just not getting it, having a tough time, I should say. So if she has a tough time, I'll go in. And last night I had to go in and I had to nurse her a little bit more before she went to sleep. But she slept all night last night, even though she had a hard time going to bed. She started to sleep really good at night. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. So we have a routine, and it's almost turning into a schedule, but it's not quite. We have scheduled times, but it's not like boom, 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 like at this time you will be sleeping. Like, no, it's just a routine, but the routine pretty much falls in the same time every day. Yeah. She wakes up anywhere from like 7:50 to 8:30. 2 hours afterwards, she's showing sleepy signs again. So we wait it out as long as we can to 2 hours, and we put her in her sleep sack, and I lay her down, and she takes a nap for about an hour and a half, and then she's up for about 2.5 to 3 hours. She'll start showing sleepy signs. Now, the second nap of the day is always the toughest. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm missing her cues, stretching it out too long, so it's still hit or miss. But then she'll go to sleep about 2:30 to 3:15. It just varies. Sometimes a little earlier, but that's normally about the time. And then she's up for the rest of the night, and then the next time she goes to do sleepy stuff is when it's bedtime. So we normally, since we're eating food, we eat dinner together. She takes a bath. Sometimes she stays up for 30 minutes and reads with me, or we play a little bit. Or sometimes she just tells me, dude, I'm tired now, like, I want to go to bed. And we nurse with the lights on. That's another thing that I learned, that if you feed her like with the lights on, you know, keep her kind of awake to where she doesn't fall asleep on you. That way, when she's done eating, you put her in her sleep sack, turn the sound machine on, turn the lights off, and she should just fall right asleep. Or at least that's what we've had luck with, I should say. So then she just goes to bed and she'll sleep from anywhere from 6:45 to 7:45 at night all the way till the next morning. So I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy. No, we didn't use anything magical. We don't have any essential oils. We don't use rice cereal or oatmeal. We don't do any of that. It's all just her learning that this is what bedtime is, and she's doing a really good job, and I'm really proud of her. Yeah. Now, she has woken up a few times here and there. I think a couple nights she woke up maybe twice to eat, and then she fell right back asleep. I mean, that's totally fine, and every night I go to bed I expect to wake up at least once, but recently I haven't had to wake up, and I'm really proud of her for that. And when my husband goes to work, he always checks on her on the monitor and before he leaves, and then as soon as I wake up, because I'll wake up a little bit earlier than she does, and I check on her and she's still sleeping and she's doing good. So last night was the first night that we took the DockATot out of the crib, mainly because she's just getting so long. When she was little, and even to now, but not as bad, but when she was itty bitty, she just rocked and rocked all over the place, and when she was tiny, it did wake her up a lot. Once we got the DockATot in there, she just slept so well. When she was a newborn, she would sleep like 6 hours at a time at night, and it was great. So we had her in the DockATot since she was a newborn, and in West Virginia, that's what we have to use almost as her bed because we have that cradle, but she needed the DockATot there because there was no mattress. Anyway, long story. It's just, that's what we had to use, so we used it and she loved it. Yes, but last night I said we're going to start transitioning out of it. Yeah, just because she's so long. But that's why I think she had a little bit of a tough time going to bed last night because there was no DockATot. She was kind of confused. I read to just, when you take it out, just take it out at their bedtime because they're going to go to bed anyway. They're just used to falling asleep, so it's a little bit easier for them. So I do think that's why today's nap was harder because we still, of course, no DockATot, and she was just having a rough time this morning to fall asleep for her first nap, which isn't always the case. It's normally the nap 2 that's the tough one. So I just said, you know what, she's just really upset. She's really upset, yeah. She's sad, she's not doing okay, so I just brought her downstairs because I was watching TV. We brought her downstairs and she just fell asleep on me after she ate a little bit, and now we're here. That was a very long way to say that. I feel this is a long video, but that's okay. But that's where Hazel's at. This is where we are 6 months into baby Hazel. She loves to be held, she loves to be snuggled. Yeah, so this is little Hazel Louise. Hi. Hi. We don't have any teeth yet. No, you don't have any teeth yet. So, but that's okay, she'll get them. I thought she was getting a tooth around Christmas, but it was a false alarm, and no teeth. I think that covers all the questions that people would probably ask me about how she's doing now. Yeah. This is all she does. Oh, yeah. What are you saying? What do you see? Your toys? Do you see your toys? There's no words. She can or has said mama, but it's more like mum, like that. But she only says it once in a blue moon. My sister-in-law did hear it, so I'm not imagining it. But we practice talking, but she's just like, whatever, I'm watching her mouth move, but she doesn't want to really say anything yet. But we're getting there. I'm sure within a month or two is when she's going to start really babbling. So that's where we are. Happy 6 months, little girl. We got all our vaccines, and we got our flu shot. She'll get a flu shot booster on Valentine's Day. But she's done really well so far with all her shots, and she doesn't go back to the actual checkup doctor until 9 months. Alrighty, well, thanks for watching this week's video. Next week's video, I think I'm going to eventually probably do a day in the life with us and just kind of take you through a day, an average day, maybe a few days. But if there's anything you'd like to see from me, just let me know in the comments, and make sure you subscribe if you like this video, want to stick around. Videos every Wednesday, doing well so far for 2020, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye!